To say that morality the world over is in decay would be somewhat of an understatement. Morality the world over is gasping its last COVID-infected breath, and now we realize that it is up to us as individuals to create the world that we want to live in. The leaders have demonstrated their incapability time and time again, and the skeletons continue to topple out of the closets. Somehow, Eagle FM managed to get a hold of an affidavit signed by fugitive fish rot implicated lawyer Maren de Klerk in April last year and shared some of what was stated therein. President Hage Geingob was once more implicated in the fish rot scandal, as Maren de Klerk referred to him in the affidavit as the boss. Activist Olsen Kahiriri eagerly shared his views on these latest allegations.
It's always good to be the boss, because when things get sour, the boss is highly protected. And this is a clear indication that we are run in a mafia administration aspect of life. The sad thing is the truth are always bitter, as Zacchaeus has said it publicly, that the truth are bitter. What you do in the dark will always come to light. When you make a baby in the night, tomorrow we'll see a complete baby standing. That's what happens, and that's what you do in the night. So this is common. We are being run by a mafia administration, and this is very clear what they have been doing in the boardrooms, the dark boardrooms that nobody enters. If you actually look at how de Klerk put his story, said, I could not get business in Namibia without being linked to SWAPO. And he's not bringing up something new. This is what we have been saying, that you can only do business in Namibia if you are SWAPO aligned. I can mention names. You see people who get position like the Rirwako or the Rirwako, they wear SWAPO outfit without shame, and they are called political commentators. Most of the executive directors at the ministry, at the government offices, wear SWAPO attires without shame. All parastatal CEOs wear SWAPO's attires without shame. But all these institutions are going to be looted, and the name surrounds SWAPO. The name is SWAPO. You see, I don't care how people are feeling pity for the boss. We must call him the boss. He's the boss, because what he does is bossy. You saw him on all the television, how he answers to journalists. He thinks he's God.
You are telling me I cannot be the best. It's a closed door. How is it closed door? Only 1, 2, 3, 4 ministers. We do that daily. Closed door. That's how you distort things. Why did we come out? It is closed door. Daily I have investors here, covered by press. Don't distort things always. And he's a special investor. He's a man of standing. You respect people, you must respect people. He is not an ordinary investor. There are classes also. You and I, you are very important. I'm not that important. So you must know that's how it is. Since you have power of the press, you are very important.
Now your boss, the one that you guys have created, his name is all around the transaction transferred by de Klerk. Now de Klerk, who was doing all the transaction, he was wiring the money under certain instruction, of which he apparently claims he has emails, he has WhatsApp communication from the boss, the middle boss, not the real boss, but some of the instructions were coming from the boss, apparently. And the question is, all those businesses mentioned, can ACC tell us who the owners of those businesses are? These businesses are registered by people. Let's get the names. The clerk is saying, I've transferred the money. He can prove the bank statements of the transfers. For you to do an easy work is to go to that specific bank and see whether that money was indeed paid into those bank accounts and what was the owner's response. And the owner must respond. I know for the boss and all these guys who were doing these things, 2 million is nothing. But these were the transaction that has been running around. You see, I'm not surprised to hear the names of the secretary of the youth league, the previous, the current, being paid to shut up. How pathetic could you be? And you call yourself a leader of the youth. You are being paid off. What were you doing in the fishing deals? If you were paid even a 10 cent, you must be able to answer to it. So the question is, the secretary of the youth receiving this money, what was his dealings? What was his purpose? Was it to shut up? Because everybody, if you work for government, what you receive must be legitimate. If you work in a fish rod aspect, then the invoices of money that is coming to you should have answers. So all these people must be collected and be put where they belong, which is jail. Because I don't want some of the people to sit in jail while others are walking around, breathing oxygen for free, while they have stole resources of this country. Because the good thing with the fish rod scandal is, even though these thieves do not see their days in court, it exposes how corrupt these people are. You see, when this news came out, when the Al Jazeera issue came out, the 2 ministers were asked to resign because their names were implicated into these issues. Now, if the clerk made statements, he was their lawyer, not the public's lawyer. He was their lawyer. And he was used to do this transaction, as lawyers do. So, for now, I will believe what he says. Because you see, I'm a guy who has a legal background. First of all, the evidence that are before you is the one that you rely on up until it's either challenged by a response or evidence that money never came into my bank account. All those businesses, they must give us statements.
Namibians took issue with the fact that presidential spokesperson Alfredo Hengari issued a statement in which he responded to false allegations regarding Fishcore, stating, "The president has in the past addressed and denied the most unfair and unfortunate allegations and insinuations being made against him in the matter you are referring to." I asked activist Olsen Kahiriri to share his thoughts.
You see, history will judge the likes of Hengari as educated fools. The history itself, not me. Because how would you react? You are not a lawyer. You are just a PhD holder with skinny suits that you wear without any brain when it comes to legal aspect. You are the first person to come and defend the boss. He's your boss. I don't know how these people go to bed with this guilt that they are carrying. Namibians used to be stupid, but not now. Because Hengari's lies are going to catch up on him. It's not the first time he has been lying. And his lies are coming from the boss. Just the very same way that those who are in jail have been acting on behalf of the boss. Hengari good statement to you. I want to warn you that you will be the first person to be arrested to interfere with police investigation. That is interference. And the other zombies who are getting instruction like you are in jail. So if you clean your boss behind, know where you are going to keep what you are using. Where are you going to hide it? Because it will come and hunt you. Because the truth always surfaces. So for me, it's good days for the Namibian people. We are getting what ought to be out here. You see, we have been saying these people are corrupt ever since we have hit the market. We have been activists. We have been blacklisted because we stood behind the poor people for exposing these things that are going. They received the money. What did they do with them? What was the money for? Every cent should be accounted for. Now, my brother de Klerk, according to his own statements, is fearing for his life. So it tells you how powerful these idiots are and are willing to kill. That's the very same statements that was made by Stephenson, the person who blows out these things. How many times did they try and kill him? So you want to tell me that these people that are disappearing, when they have been implicated in corruption, are they really committing suicide? Or are they just disappearing from this scene? Or is the boss dealing with them? And that is the mafia aspect that I'm talking about. The kleptocracy holiday is over. Because every time they want to steal now. Tomorrow we'll hear about the COVID money. You see, what our people don't understand is, and we are doing these things to open our people's eyes. Last year, we are going now to the budget in the new budget for this year, which is coming, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in March, the new, or April, the tabling of the new budget for 2021-2022. The budget of 2020-2021. What did we do? We were affected by COVID. No transaction took place. Only few transactions took place. Projects were not done. Everything was not done. And we tabled a budget that is close to 70 billion, if I'm not mistaken. From that time to here, what did we do with that money that we have budgeted for? And our people are sleeping because last year was hit by COVID. Administration was on a snail process. If they had touched that budget, trust me, they would have touched 30, 40%. Where's the rest of the money? And people who are in charge of this money is the very same people that de Klerk has been referring to.
Many Namibians question the differences in how lawyers Maren de Klerk and Sisa Namanje are being treated, as the former claims to be living in fear for his life, whilst the latter continues with business as usual. I asked activist Olsen Kahiriri to share his views on this.
When you mention that name, he doesn't shake. Caesar himself won't shake. But those that he gets involved with shake. But it's a matter of time. He has just been delayed for his days to rot wherever he belongs. I have no sympathy with people who goes in the night cooking our money, channel it to wrong people, and then you stand in front of me, apparently you are a good lawyer. Who makes you good? Is it the people that are using you? Because you see, the media is controlled by them, the boss. The newspapers is controlled by the boss. Everything is controlled by the boss. Now the boss makes the likes of Caesar shines. That guy, for me, is just as corrupt as the rest of them. Because what they have been doing for years, and it's not, you can't be administrating the first president's file, administering the second president's file, administering the third president's file, administering every corrupt person in this country's file, and somewhere the suitcase that you use to clean your behinds of all these things is somewhere lying. And it's a matter of time it will be catched. And where do you go? People love things that don't belong to them. And their days are numbered. The files that he has been receiving of all these corrupt activities, we know it. But let nature deal with those people. You see, my hands are very clean because I cannot use my hands on people who are beaten by the world. The world is going to deal with these crooks because the Lord up there does not sleep. He sees how these satanic apostles destroys the lives of a Namibian person. We do not deserve to be in shacks. We don't deserve to be poor. These people makes us poor. There's new developments coming in the Kavango regions. They are drilling well. Imagine someone started drilling well without having the environmental assessment license. And the first person to come and get that APL went through State House. So these are thieves. These are thieves that are put into power to deal and kill you, and they are going to kill you with the vaccination that they are going to bring. It's up to you. You see, the Lord says that my people will perish because of lack of knowledge. And those people, you have given them power as if they are powerful. They are useless. To me, they are useless. I don't fear them. The statements I'm making now, they are shaking. I didn't do anything. I just speak. And I speak what their lawyer has said. De Klerk is your lawyer. He is implicating you. He has transferred money into your personal business. Tell us. That's not your money. That's our fish money. What happened to that money? The names of those businesses has owners. They didn't come by air. And he was used to come and open these new joint ventures, make statements, after they have given themselves envelopes. That's your government for you. This government is run by a cartel of thieves, corrupt to the bone. You see how the president speaks when those people were arrested. Those people, the court must pronounce themselves. Now your name is in it. You ask the other people to resign, they resign. What are you going to do when your names are rocking in the courts of Namibia that you received money? Are you going to resign?
Namibian tongues are wagging this week over allegations made by lawyer Maren de Klerk, who left the country last year, prompting many to believe that he's a fugitive from justice as he was implicated in the fish rod scandal. Despite the "they made me do it" tone of the affidavit he signed, he also dropped a few bombs which are now under fervent discussion. Many people have also mentioned the fact that the president is rather quiet and has not been seen in a while.
If you are being accused of doing something wrong, the best response is silence, because you don't want to implicate yourself. Because you see, the boss is a very reckless speaker, very reckless. I've been watching him all these years. Very reckless. Only certain people understand that he's an intellectual. I don't see intellect coming from his head. Very reckless when he makes statements. So he should, I would also have advised him to shut up. Everything that is open must be quiet. Because if he opens his mouth, what does he speak while the money went into his bank account? So he can't say anything. Maybe he might survive through immunity and all these things, the president title that he's receiving, but we are not going to rest up until he stepped down like Zuma did. Zuma is finding his days in courts, and he resigned. The corruption roads was all showing to Zuma. And that time I was lucky, I was at Wits University, and I was also playing a role in that Zuma must fall campaign. He must fall because his hands are dirty. It's not because I hate him. I have nothing to do with the man. We never met. He's even coming from a family that I don't know. I've never shared coffee with him. I just met him once. That's it. I have nothing against the guy. He's not from my class. He's not from my type. We are not even from the same intellectual capacity. So I don't care about him. I have nothing with him. I paid tax for 30 years and he stole that tax. That's all I have issues with. He robbed me of my investment, which is investment to my country. So his days with Jack Wang, his friends and all these things are going to jail where they all belong. They must, I don't know why anti-corruption is also taking long with this thing. Because this affidavit came a long way. But people are angry, it was leaked, it was what? But that's the evidence of the person. That's what you want him to say. And mind you, those that are against these things are trembling with the justice system of this country. I know our justice system is not one of the best. But for now, if you have something that we can use, let the justice system be protected. Let the ACC be protected. Let the prosecutor general be protected, the investigators and everybody. And even people who are witness like the clerk. The clerk now tends to become a witness. What are we going to do? The laws are not amended to protect people like him. The president is sitting on it. Is he going to sign it? If he is clean, I urge him to sign it next week. If he's clean, let him sign so that that person can be protected. He wants justice to prevail. So sign the document so that this person can be protected, period.
I mentioned the fact that there is legislation in place that protects presidents from prosecution.
He's not God. He must answer. Because if he doesn't answer, we are going to impeach him. I know, we can go for a referendum. His name is all over this money. And there will be people, more people will come out and say, he was the boss.
And with that, it's a wrap. Stay woke with us by following us on our social media pages. It's a Wrap Nam on Insta, It's a Wrap Namibia on YouTube, and It's a Wrap with Erica Gebhardt on Facebook. It's a Wrap premieres on Sunday nights at 7:30 on One Africa TV, where it just gets better. You can also catch it live on Facebook Sunday nights at the same time. One Africa TV, it just gets better.